Outdoor Sportsman Group Thursday edition of iCast Live, presented by Florida's Coastal Corridor. Please welcome Kevin Van Dam.
Welcome, everybody. This is kind of a first to do iCast Live, and we were on the stage yesterday to kick it off. Really incredible honor for me to be part of yesterday's iCast Live kickoff with Steve Harvey, Johnny Morris, and Bill Dance. Of course, Bill Dance was this year's recipient of the iCast Impact Award. Bill's a great friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. Just an unbelievable ambassador, and so many of us have learned so much from Bill Dance over the years. So, when we had his little awards presentation at the industry breakfast, Bill Dance has been coming to iCast for 50-plus years. Truly amazing. He's the Energizer Bunny. He's a dynamo, great mentor to me and a great friend. So that's how we kicked it off. iCast Live is something really unique in that we got an opportunity to showcase a lot of personalities like that. Again, I think so many people in the world had no idea how passionate Steve Harvey is about fishing. And it's great to have somebody that has such a voice out there promoting our sport. So Steve's become a really good friend of mine. I've got to fish with him a little bit. We've got a couple of great shows that we filmed earlier this year that you'll see on the Outdoor Channel. So, today is OSG Thursday, and my television show, The Van Dam Experience, it airs on the Outdoor Channel and Game and Fish TV and My Outdoor TV. And Steve made a comment yesterday about a fishing question, and he said, where do you catch fish this time of year in the heat of summer? And Bill kind of delivered a few answers and stuff. But what I told him is, I said, you can go and see every Bill Dance episode. That's what got Steve Harvey into fishing originally, was watching Bill Dance when he was homeless at Circuit City stores on the televisions inside there. He would go in and ask the manager to turn it to the fishing shows. And so that's how he learned how to fish. So now you can watch all the shows on the Outdoor Channel. You can watch the shows on Game and Fish TV. But more importantly, you can go to the MOTV app and watch everybody's library. I can watch every Bill Dance episode on MOTV. I can watch the Van Dam Experience. I can watch Zona's Awesome Fishing Show. There's so much great content, and there's everything from fresh caught to again, all these archival outdoor shows, and anything that you want in the outdoors you can find there. So pretty cool spot to go. And that's why we're all here, is to learn, and people want to hear a lot about new products. And that, to me, the most exciting part about iCast is seeing what's new. And, I've got some people here that are going to showcase some of the things that are new launches for this year that are going to get people on the water, and they're going to catch a lot more fish. So the first up, I've got Chris Latow from Rather Outdoors, and he is going to be showcasing a brand new launch from Zepco of the Rhino brand. So this is a brand that I was part of the original launch back in the 90s, and these rods are tough, man. They're designed to be indestructible to whatever you want to fish for, from anywhere from catfish to bass to anything, where they're just super durable, and they can handle anything from the biggest fish to the smallest bluegills and everywhere in between, and they're going to perform always. So Chris, why don't you come up here and we'll kick this off with Zepco and Rhino. Oh, good. Yeah, we get each just grab a mic. So this product won Best of Category for Best New Combo already, and is up for Best of Show. So it's groundbreaking technology. It's pretty cool, and he's got some demonstrations and stuff that we're going to do. So just, you can grab a mic, and Chris, I'm just going to let you go through it.
All right. Well, as Kevin said, Rhino's been around for a long time, nearly 40 years. We haven't done a whole lot with the brand recently. Like Kevin said, he helped field test.
Get that mic a little closer. There you go.
Kevin was grateful enough to do a lot of developments for us. Rhino's been around a long time, so why would we come back and do a big relaunch right now? So the reason why is, about 2 years ago, we had a technology breakthrough in rod development. So it's a whole new way to build a rod. It led to such an improvement in strength, weight, and performance. We felt like it would be perfect for the Rhino product. So this is, again, a new way to build a rod. Hasn't been done before. We're seeing this exponential increases in strength. So we spent the last 2 years developing this rod. So let me show you a break video here. So this is our lab test equipment. We test all of our labs to breakage. On the right is a competitor rod. On the left is our Rhino rod. That's a 7-foot medium heavy, and it took 66 pounds to break it. On the right, you saw it break, the competitor rod break at about 41. We break tons of rods in our test lab. We like to break them before we give them to Kevin.
Crash test dummies.
Yeah. We want to make sure we know where they break before we give our rods to Kevin. So we break a lot of our rods. We break a lot of competitive rods. As you can see, the competitive rod broke at about 41 pounds. We broke at about 66. That's nearly 60% increase in strength. That is crazy. Kevin and I have been doing this, developing products for a long, long time. That's the most significant change in rod performance that I've ever seen. Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons why. It's pretty complex, pretty scientific, but I'll do my best to explain it to you. It's a brand new blank. We're calling it a triax core blank. The reason why we call it triax is because the fibers are oriented in multiple different directions. So there's more than 3 axes that the fibers are oriented in. So it's a unique rod. It's a unique rod building process. Again, we came across this breakthrough about 2 years ago after years of trying to achieve this exponential strength. For the last 2 years, we've been dialing in the strength, the weight, and the performance because we can make it stronger, but then maybe it would be too heavy. We could make it lighter, but maybe it wouldn't be strong enough. So we really found the perfect balance of action, weight, and strength. So this weight is stronger than any rod in this category. It's lighter in weight than the competitors, and it has, in our opinion, better action, better performance. So a few more things. It's a unique process. It's built with custom equipment at our rod factory. You can't go to any other rod factory and build a rod like this because they don't have the equipment. We had to custom build the equipment. The materials are built that are made to use this rod are built in our factory. We don't go buy pre-preg material from another factory. It's built in our factory. The process to put it together is very unique as well. So we're getting rods that are incredibly strong. Depending on what model you test, we're seeing 50% stronger than some of the strongest competitors. It's more than 2 times stronger than your typical kind of graphite rod. We're getting about 15% higher fiber density, which the fiber density is where all the strength and all the performance and all the sensitivity comes from. So we took a lot of resin out compared to normal rod. Resin just adds weight. So that's where we're getting that lighter weight and higher strength. So we didn't want to stop with just this incredible blank, so we made sure the components were, equally as good. So we custom designed a brand new reel seat. It's very strong, it's very lightweight. It needed to be stronger than your typical reel seat because the rod blank is so strong. It has an exposed blank, so you can always be in contact with the blank, so you can get that sensitivity that you need. Has a very unique grip. If you haven't seen this, please come by the booth, take a look. Very unique grip that stays tacky when it's wet. It's kind of modeled after a rhino hide, so it's very grippy, feels grippy and unique in your hand. We've got a set of guides that we call Armor One guides. So
this is the best part right here to me. So if you've ever had a fishing rod, and especially if you give it to a kid or teenager or something like that, the first thing they're doing is breaking the guides out of it or breaking the tips off of them. So that is the focal point that really, to me, is the shining star of this thing. It's super tough, but I mean, all those guides they're basically indestructible.
Basically indestructible. It's a very modern looking guide. It's a one-piece guide. We developed this guide ourselves. Our engineering team spent a lot of time developing this guide. It doesn't have inserts in it. There's no inserts to crack. There's no inserts to bust. We've already done it a bunch in this show. If you having folks reel all the way up to the tip, you don't have to worry about knocking a guide out of the tip. It's PVD plated. It's made of 304 stainless steel. It's braid ready. Braid won't cut it. Super durable. So we're breaking these rod blanks at 60, 70 pounds, in some cases even 80 pounds. And these rod guides aren't flinching. Never had a rod guide pull out. Super strong. The rod is a tubular construction until you get up to about the last couple of blanks. Then it's a solid tip. So the solid tip's important in case you get that thing jammed. Maybe shut it in your rod locker or jam it into something. It'll be strong enough to take it. So we've got a line of rods and combos. So when we build a combo, we wanted to make sure we had a reel that was up to par with this rod. So we had to design a new reel because it needed to be stronger than your typical reel. So we started from scratch. Our design team right there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Our engineering team has been working with us for just as long as Kevin and I, for 30 plus years.
Chris, this is a lot of engineering speak, and I can tell you, I've worked with this guy, like you said, for 30 plus years on a lot of different products, and they really put, this is not a quick project. This is something that guys have been working on for a really long time to build a reel that's as strong as that rod, and I'm going to let you go with your engineering speak a little bit longer, but the end of the story is this is a badass, tough system right here.
Badass, tough system. Yeah, we spent about 2 years.
I said badass, by the way.
That's the perfect word for it. Again, we spent about 2 years working on the reel as well, the reel development. Built a brand new gear that's a stronger gear than your typical gear. We call it the A6 gear system. We call that A6 because it's an asymmetrical gear. We moved material to the drive side to make it stronger, so we ended up with a drive gear that has more surface area contact. It has more teeth that are engaged in any one point in time, and all that really means is it lowers the stress on the gear, lowers the PSI on the gear, so the gear will stay smooth longer, last longer, and take higher loads. So that's kind of the engine of the reel, so it's really important. These reels and these combos are built to be tough, right? They're built to be thrown in the back of a pickup truck, used on the riverbank, fish from the beach, whatever. So it's gonna see all kinds of pretty adverse conditions. So we felt it was important to protect those internal components. So we put a set of seals in it, and this is something you normally don't see at these price points. So these seals keep out dirt, debris, sand, water, so this is just gonna help it last a long, long time, and to kind of make it maintenance free. You don't have to worry about maintaining this as often because everything is sealed up. Drag system. You have a rod that's strong, you better have a good drag.
You got to have a good drag.
Yeah, so this gets more, the rod will handle way more than what you need. The drag will handle way more than what you need. So we call it an HD20 heavy duty drag system. It's engineered to get about 20% higher drag strength than typical. So super strong, it has stainless steel washers and some proprietary drag materials. Super strong, super smooth drag system. At our booth, we got a fishing simulator that you can actually come over and test it, let some reels peel out some drag and just see how smooth it is. So this is kind of our assortment in rods. Again, we have rods and combos. We got about 10 rods. They start at $49. A rod of this strength, this weight, and this performance.
It's a great value for an indestructible rod.
It's incredible. So we got everything from an ultralight, 4'8" ultralight, all the way up to a 7-foot medium heavy. Had a lot of people ask me, why do you need such a heavy duty rod in an ultralight? Well, those guys don't want their rods breaking either, right? The problem in the past has been a heavy duty rod for an ultralight has just been too clunky, it's been too heavy, and it didn't have the right action. Well, now you can get the weight that you want, you can get the action and performance that you want, and you still get the extra strength and durability. So yeah, these are great ultralight rods and great heavy-duty rods. We got 6 combos. This pretty much covers all applications, from a 4'8" ultralight with an 05 size reel, all the way up to a 7-foot medium heavy with the 50 size reel on it. So perfect for ultralight applications, all the way up to big fish, big catfish. Gabby and I had this in Jacksonville the other day, catching cobia on it. Great for redfish. So it covers pretty much all applications. Combos start at $69. They're $69, $79, $89. So they average about $79. So it's an absolutely incredible price for a
great
combo.
value for something as tough as it is.
Yeah, and you know, we didn't stop with just the strength. It's got a lot of little details. You know, it's got a braid band on it. It's got a teardrop shaped line slider. It's got a spring loaded line clip. It's got a heavy duty, oversized handle knob on it with, you know, with a rubber overmold that's nice and grippy. So we kind of hit every detail here.
Sounds great, man.
That's pretty much it in Rhino. Again, like Kevin said, we won Best Combo. Please go out and vote for Best of Show.
Well, and then if you get a chance, stop by the Zebco booth down here. And again, we got a simulator there where you can actually put this to use.
Yeah, if you give me a second, I'll hook this up and let you see this. So this is a 15-pound weight.
This is a 15-pound weight that he's got hooked up to it right here.
So 15 pounds on the end of a 7-foot rod.
It's a 7-foot rod.
Kevin knows what that feels like.
Just straight power lifting. That's a lot of torque right there. So, yeah, you can boat flip. Yeah, you can easily boat flip a 15-pounder. So.
And it'll hold 66 pounds. And keep in mind, the drag system is holding that too.
Yeah, so it's not just the rod; it's the drag holding 15 pounds. It'll hold 66 pounds. You said?
Yeah. Now the drag won't hold 66, but the rod will.
Yeah. Well, if you got something pulling against you at 66 pounds, the line's probably going to be a problem too. So, anyways.
Good luck. You're a stronger man than I if you can handle that.
Yeah.
So we've got some more stuff, Zebco. Oh, I guess we're going to talk about line. So here again, you know, we built this super strong combo, super strong rods. You better have the line to handle it, right? So we developed a series of Rhino line. We have monofilament and we have braid. Monofilament starts, the filler starts at $7.99. It's a great value. The bulk spools are $12.99. Again, we've got some new colors here. We've got this called Rhino braid. So we've got an orange braid with a kind of a black, kind of camouflage color, and the same with greens. Really unique looking line. There's not anything like that on the market today. But just like the rods and reels, this line, when you buy 12-pound line, you're going to get a line that's much stronger than 12 pounds. So it's just tough and durable, a lot of abrasion resistance, very strong line. All right, now for Gabby.
So this is Gabby Stallings from Rather Outdoors, and we got a new Mossy Oak collaboration in Zebco that we're going to be showcasing. I think probably most every angler started out fishing with a Zebco. My first reel was a Zebco 33, so I look forward to seeing these, and the fish can't see them either. Try that one on.
Hello. Okay, great. Hi, guys. I'm Gabby. This is one of our most exciting launches this year because it makes a lot of sense for two legacy brands, Zebco and Mossy Oak, to come together. This combo actually won the Best Kids Tackle yesterday. It is a solid fiberglass rod and, of course, the amazing Bottomland camo pattern. I know that you guys are seeing this everywhere right now.
Everything's better in Bottomland.
Hey, every single thing is better in Bottomland. So we have an awesome setup at our booth as well to show off our great Mossy Oak combo. This is also a very durable rod. It is a solid fiberglass rod. I know that kids like to bend things and drop things, and this is actually going to last. And it is a cool combo, and we are very thankful to be partnering with Mossy Oak this year for that. That's all. That's all I got for you.
Awesome. Well, up next we have Lucas Murphy from Strike King. So Strike King is a brand that I've worked with for a really long time. I've developed a lot of baits. I have a lot of my own signature stuff, and every bass angler out there is always looking for what's new, that new secret bait, that new hot bait. And Lucas is going to show us that. One other cool thing, right? Oh, that Bottomland weigh-in bag is pretty cool too. So you got to try this one.
All right,
There we go.
We're good to go.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Awesome. So my name's Lucas. Thanks, Kevin. We're going to roll through some of our new Strike King products that we had in the new product showcase this year. So this is really, this is just a fraction of what we've worked on for the year. There's a bunch more in the booth. There's a bunch more you'll be seeing from Strike King in terms of new product. But we're going to dive into a few of the new ones, and the first one is probably not going to surprise you, but hopefully excite you. It's the new Strike King Chucker. It's a full lineup of urchins, so you're probably familiar with some of the bigger sizes. We have a 24 millimeter, we have an 18 millimeter, but what's unique about the Chucker lineup is you have some smaller sizes in there. You have almost a panfish size in the 7 millimeter that comes in a 3-pack.
I mean, it's the hottest craze in bass fishing right there. That's the big Chucker.
Yep, that's the big Chucker, the old 24 millimeter. We made it a good bit bulkier than what you'll see, maybe from some other ones. It's a big profile bait. It's that bait that you're catching that kicker fish to help cap off a tournament win or just maybe catch your new PB on. That's what the 24 millimeters for. And then, like I said, you've seen a lot of attention on those. We have some of the guys on our pro staff that are really excited for the 10s and the 7 millimeter sizes to head up north and do some smallmouth fishing. So again, kind of some crossover there in the panfish world and the smallmouth world, and going to be an absolute killer for us. We built a rigging hole into that, so you can kind of see some of those gaps there where we added a space to add your Nico weight, to put the shaft of your frog hook, which is becoming one of the biggest, most popular ways to rig these and to fish them. So trying to make the experience for the guy fishing them or the gal fishing them as smooth as possible and make sure they have a good experience. Some pretty cool colors as well. We've dipped some of them in chartreuse dye. And definitely going to be something you're going to want to check out, the Chucker. It also comes with those bigger sizes, the 24 and the 18 millimeter come stored on a tackle box insert. So they're fixed to the bottom of the box, and you can actually kind of see here as I'll slide one out. So that's an insert that's coming right in the box. I pulled that one out because I already unfastened it, but you can put it right back on that wire right in the box. It holds it tight. So storing these things is always a challenge. You can put it in one of the boxes that are out here. A few of them I saw got launched this week, or you can use the box and just store them in the boat.
This way it keeps their shape.
Yes, absolutely. So the goal is to not have them, laying against their arms, the tentacles, so they don't, bend or droop or anything like that, because it is made out of TPE and it can sometimes be a little bit more volatile of a material, but it's what you got to have for this bait to perform.
All right. Next up.
All right, next up is the Hustlin' Hog. So this is a collaboration we did with Tater Hog Custom Lures. Matt McBee himself, he's basically dedicated the last 25 years of his life to honing in his craft in his garage, making baits from hand, designing them by hand, pouring them with resin. They're a super premium product. You can see one of his original designs there on your screen in front of you there in his hand. And last year we did the Hustlin' the Hog Father. This year's the Hustlin' Hog. So it's actually built after, to a T, his Hustlin' Herring. It's a 5.5-inch swim bait, and he built it with the design of, or with the thought of being able to burn it as fast as you want. So it's still a single joint swim bait, but you can fish it a little bit faster. You can still slow it down and have that chopping side-to-side action. But it also has the rolling swivel hook hangers that you see on the screen there as well. So once you get that fish hooked up, it doesn't have the leverage of those of a standard split ring where it would just be a fixed tie where they can get that leverage and throw the bait. So definitely improves your landing ratio on some of those short strikes, and you get more fish in the boat with the Hustlin' Hog.
The colors are just awesome too. They're translucent, and man, they're just everything you need. Of course, you got to have Carolina Chrome and a Hustlin' Hog, but the bluegill colors, all those colors are they're fantastic. And it's a smaller profile. That's what I like.
Yep, a small profile, and even more on the colors. You got the ones you got to have, and something you can't get in the the OG, the original version of the bait that Tater really wanted to have is some transparent colors. So you see spot remover, you see even ghost herring a little bit, glass herring. Like, you can add some transparency to these colors that you can't get in the original. And as you saw on the slide before, $39 price tag's a lot cheaper than the $200 one when you get a handmade one. So Tater's excited, we're excited, everyone that on the team's excited for the Hustlin' Hog.
Yep.
So, you see the trends at Urchins, you see some of the big swim baits, but, Strike King's a spinnerbait company. Kevin Van Dam's probably caught more spinnerbait fish than most people out there.
Love
There's
a spinnerbait.
It's cool for Strike King to, we want to still invest in the categories that built the brand, the legacy categories, and add some innovation in those categories, as well as, give the attention to the urchins and everything that you have. So the 2-time spinnerbait, it's a 2-arm spinnerbait with a Colorado blade and a willow blade combination on both arms. And it's a super, super cool design. You can fish it through grass, you can fish it through wood. It comes through cover really, really well. Those twin arms make the bait run perfectly straight. There's no tuning issues, running left, running right. It holds it perfectly.
It's super weedless too. So I've got to test and use this bait. It's actually kind of the concept I brought to you to develop. And with that arm split like that, you can't hang it up in wood and things like that. So it's a great running spinnerbait with a lot of flash. Almost gives you that umbrella rig kind of flash. So it's pretty awesome and something very unique to a spinnerbait.
Yeah, absolutely. And something I like about it that we've noticed in designing and fishing it is, you can tune those arms, you can pull them apart a little bit, keep it, maybe fish it a little bit slower, keep it up higher above the water column. But there's a perfect spot where you can have them tuned right out of the package, where the blades will actually kind of tick each other. So everyone that fishes a spinnerbait, you like to flare it, try to draw that reaction strike. This'll kind of do it itself. So you can obviously add some action to it yourself, but you'll feel those blades tick each other, and it kind of will pump forward or go slack a little bit, and that's a lot of times when you get a bite.
That's what triggers bites.
For sure. So same deal here with the color assortment. We got a natural bluegill in there, and then everyone, every variation that you need in the chartreuse and the chartreuse and white and the sexy shads and chartreuse sexy shad. So a good narrow color assortment, but one's up there. No matter where you are in the country, there's one that you need out on that screen in the 2-time spinnerbait. It's got a long shank hook in there too. The goal of that, right, with spinnerbaits is we were trying to alleviate the need for a trailer hook. So it's got a long shank 5/0 hook in there to pick up on those short strikes and try to have that hook point as far back from there as possible. So if they're swiping at it, you're not sitting there messing with a trailer hook. You can always add one, but the goal there is to not have to modify this and still catch as many as you want. So rolling into another one is a new jig head. So a Spotlight, it's a hybrid tungsten. So tungsten's an interesting category over the last 6 to 12 months, and we've come out with a hybrid design. So what that is there's a lead core in there surrounded by tungsten. So we're able to use a little bit less tungsten and try to keep the prices at the minimum that they can be, while still having the benefits of the return on forward-facing sonar, the density that gives you the better feel when you're fishing it, as well as giving it a disco-shaped head. So there's a bunch of flat ridges, as you can kind of see on the screen there. So the deal with that is, with forward-facing sonar in mind, there's always a flat section pointed back at your transducer. So even if it's if it's cocked down a little bit or up, there's always a section of that's flat. That's the beam's coming off your forward-facing sonar transducer, and it's shooting right back at it to give you that little bit better return to find your bait and fish it more efficiently.
Best jig head for pinging a minnow.
Absolutely. Double cone keeper there. We sawed the top off of it to help rig it up there, and then all you got to do is basically, once you get it snugged up there, you push up on the bottom of it where those cone ridges are, and it's gonna, whether it's an Elastec material on a Z2 or the plastisol material we have in the Spotlight winged minnow that we built in conjunction with these, it's going to hold it super well, no super glue needed, and you'll have a good experience there. Another thing too, you can see the eyelet is actually pulled back towards the hook point a little bit. There's a lot of weight. The bulk of the weight is in the front of that eyelet, so that what that does is gives it a better rolling action. So no matter what minnow you have on there, this jig head's going to make it roll side to side, and you'll be able to keep it level and fish it efficiently. And last but not least, for what we're going to talk about today, is a weigh-in bag. So this is we talked about the collaboration with Mossy Oak on the Zebco side, the Rhino side. We did the same thing here with Strike King and made the coolest weigh-in bag that I have ever seen or been a part of. It's the last weigh-in bag that you'll need. It's got kind of a double wall construction. It's built like a pair of waders. So it's not just like a shiny camo on there. You'll feel it. It's a nice, thick, coarse fabric that is not going to wear out on you. The bottom of it.
It's Rhino tough.
It's Rhino tough, yeah, on the Strike King brand for sure. It's got a reinforced bottom to it, a hard shell bottom that's also flat. So you can't quite take all of the weight off of it. It will roll a little bit, but when you're wiping down the boat, waiting for the line to get a little bit shorter because you caught a sack and you think you're going to win the tournament, you can kind of take some of the weight off your back when you're waiting in line. And if you're on a gravel parking lot, like a lot of smaller tournaments might be, that reinforced bottom helps you. You're not going to be sitting there standing on the sides of it, keeping the water from leaking out. So built like a pair of waders. It's got a zipper on the top so your fish aren't jumping out if you got to go from the end of a dock all the way up to a weigh-in station. And again, it's something super cool.
Holds a 30-pound bag real easy.
Yeah, yes, sir. We've only put a few 20-pound bags in it, but one day we'll get there.
Thanks, Lucas. So up next we've got Luz and Tony Merle. So Tony and I work real close together to develop my KVD Elite Series rods and reels, and he's on the engineering team, and we've got some really cool new stuff from Luz this year. So take it away, Tony.
Hey, appreciate the intro, Kevin. Appreciate everybody being here with us today. And I know we're talking about a lot of stuff up here, but we got a couple of new items. We got a lot of new stuff on Luz this year, but a couple of things we really want to focus on with you here. And starting things off, we're really excited about the developments and innovation that we've had in spinning over the last few years. Obviously, spinning reels and spinning techniques are super prevalent
It's
now.
very important now, and especially on tour. And, our pros are competing in the highest level tournaments. And pinging a minnow, forward-facing sonar, spinning has really taken over a big part of the market. So the new Hyper Mag and this new Signature Series of rods, this is a Mark Zona Signature Series spinning rod right here. It's really, you guys have really stepped it up with all new components, all new blanks, actions, and they're super lightweight, super smooth, man.
Yeah, I mean, what he's holding right there is that's our top of the line spinning package within the Luz portfolio. So if we just talk about the reel for a minute, this is a complete overhaul, complete redesign from the ground up of our original generation Hypermag spinning reel. And the big thing about the Hypermag reel is it's a magnesium frame. So not only is it really, really lightweight, obviously light and weight is important with spinning.
Yeah, you definitely want it light.
Yeah, but magnesium also gives you strength like aluminum does. So really light, but also really, really strong. That's kind of the base of the reel. But the drag is a huge piece of this, and we toiled over the drag to the very last minute, getting it just right. Lucas that just got off the stage, he's one of our field testers, so is Kevin, and we really took all that feedback and wanted to make sure that's exactly the way these guys need it to be, fishing for big money on the line. I mean, obviously Kevin made a career fishing for money for many, many years. Lucas is over here fishing for cash on a regular basis, so they're going to be upset with me if things aren't right. So we want to make it just the way they needed it. And pairing it up with the Signature Series rod, it's really just the ultimate package. But the Hypermag, there's three sizes, a 100, 200, to 300. And what's really special is we also offer a shallow spool model in the 300 size. That's something that's becoming more popular in spinning reels.
I love, that's my favorite. The shallow spool, it manages the line better, especially braid, and you don't get those wind knots or anything like that. You don't have to put as much line on there to begin with, so you're saving money there. It's really taken off, with the tour level pros.
Yeah, if you rig up spinning reels on a regular basis, not having to deal with backing is such a huge piece that you don't have to mess with. If you're using 10 or 15 pound braided line, I mean, you have plenty of capacity with the shallow spool reel. Now, we also have the full capacity options available too. But a really cool thing about that shallow spool model is it has an extra high speed gear ratio. So the 1, 2, and 3 regular models have a 6.0 to 1 gear ratio. This 300 shallow spool has a 7.0 to 1, which has the same retrieve rate as our hyperspeed baitcast reel. So it's taking up a ton of line really, really quick.
Yeah. Which allows you to make more casts, and time is money when you're fishing tournaments.
More casts. If a fish comes up over to your side that's schooling you to get back really, really quick and get to it, you can throw over there. If you see a fish on your forward-facing sonar off to the right or the left, you can get over to it real quick.
Yep.
So that's kind of the top-of-the-line spinning reel. And kind of while we have a few minutes here, we talked about the Signature Series rod just a little bit. That's a complete overhaul. We have a bunch of different pros that have actions with techniques that they're known for. Kevin's got a few actions in there as well.
Greg Hackney, Mark Zona, Andy Montgomery, for everything from bladed jigs to flipping, frogging, finesse applications, cranking, throwing spinner baits. We've got the perfect Signature Series rod for top level.
Yeah, we've done a few things to tweak the designs of it with reel seats and the guides, and it's actually a lighter weight blank. So, if you're someone that's out there looking for, really the best that money can buy you, that you're in the Luz brand, you're looking for the Signature Series.
This is the best of the best right here.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. One more thing I want to mention before we move on to Quantum is, that's the product we just talked about is really kind of the pro-driven stuff, guys that are, the real avid anglers. We also have an option for, folks that are looking for digital braking. Many of us are very familiar with the digital brake reels that we see on the marketplace, and now we have an option in the Lew's brand. It's called the Excel DB. DB standing for digital brake. So the standalone reel is called the Excel DB 150. Has a digital braking system in there for folks that want to have the reel do all the work for them, and makes that sound that we're familiar with digital brake reels. And we now have that option in the Lew's portfolio. And we're really have a lot of good braking systems. And been talking about the Paramag systems over the last couple of years.
Amazing.
Paramag RX, Paramag ITB. You're probably familiar with that by now. And the folks that are looking for a digital system, we have that as an option. So really cool price points too. The standalone reel is $150, so it's the lowest price point digital brake reel in the market. We really are optimistic about that, and retailers are really excited. But also comes in a combo for $180, and you don't have a digital brake combo out there available right now. So this is something that's really exciting for this year.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks everybody.
You bet. Up next, if you like to saltwater fish, we've got the Quantum brand and everything from inshore to offshore, and we've got some new stuff coming. So we'll go over that real quick.
So what's going on, guys? My name's Sam Zayak. I work for Quantum Fishing. I'm the marketing manager. Have you seen this reel yet, Kevin?
I have not. I've been focused on the Lew's booth. I do love to go and catch redfish and trout a lot, so this is a perfect reel for that.
Yeah, so we have a few cool things I want to talk about this year, but if you don't know the new Quantum brand, about 3 years ago we relaunched in strictly saltwater. So we have left freshwater to the Lew's team, because we were all under the house of Rather Outdoors. So that's the short story of what we're doing here at Quantum. All right, so now I'm going to teach you guys about the new Quantum Exceed. This is our flagship reel for this year. So at Quantum, for the past 2 years, we've been focused on protecting the inside of the reels the best that we can. So we do that with our C-Lock system. So that's our IP-rated waterproofness level. So this reel this year is sealed with our C-Lock 8, which is an IPX8 waterproof. That means that you can fully submerge the reel underwater and nothing will get inside the body.
That's a big deal. Salt eats everything.
Yeah, if you get salt inside that reel, it'll get rough, it'll stop spinning, your bearings get sticky. It's not a good deal. So we're really focused on protecting the inside. Something cool we did this year as well is we focused on protecting the outside of the reel as well. So we Cerakoted that body on that reel. If you don't know what Cerakote is, it's big in the gun industry. They use it on guns, knives. It has unmatched corrosion and scratch resistance. So not only is this reel protected on the inside, it's also protected on the outside.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so this reel also includes our GearTech machine gearing system. So you'll have a smoother gear feel for a longer time if you're fishing this reel every day. We also include our CastTech slow oscillation system, so the line lays super parallel. So you get a lot better casting distance. This is something the Lew's team uses as well. Helps your cast be a little bit more accurate. But yeah, that's pretty much the Exceed. It'll be available in stores in September, late August, and they start off at $300.
This is a premium saltwater reel right here.
Yeah.
It's light, super strong.
Yeah, it's one of the lightest reels in our portfolio today. So if you want to come check it out, swing by the booth.
Awesome.
Here's a short video for you. All right, so next I want to talk a little bit about rods. So I don't have the sample with me, but this is the Quantum Rely. It's our new rod series this year for Quantum. It'll be our entry-level rod series. So these start off at $79. It's the same actions as our rod series we released last year, the Zeal rod series, except we took the blank off the Zeal series, the HX24 carbon fiber blank, and we added a little bit of glass, and then we used our HD304 stainless steel guides. So they have no inserts to pop out. This is a super good rod if you're just getting into fishing. A little bit of an upgrade for the guys moving up from a combo. So
I need stuff that's tough.
yeah, it's easy to break stuff out there. So, and that's it.
You all set? Well, good. Awesome. Well, we really appreciate everybody kind of tuning in to see some of the new stuff that we have from Rather Outdoors from these brands. You know, huge thank you to the Outdoor Channel, Outdoor Sportsman's Group, Game and Fish TV for really supporting this and having iCast Live. So, again, we have all of our television shows, all that content. If you want to learn more about fishing, you can just go to the My Outdoor TV app and see just about anything on there. There's all kinds of television personalities and hosts there. My show, everybody else, my friends' shows and things like that, all there. So big thanks to the Outdoor Channel, Outdoor Sportsman's Group for putting the iCast Live on, and we'll see you again now. We're going back to the show floor.
Where you have reefs, you have life. And we've lost a lot of reef habitat.
It's not just the impact environmentally, but it's also the economic impact.
Our fishing industry alone has almost a $10 billion